Marriage equality, a term that now resonates around the world, not just as a legal shift but as a profound transformation in societal attitudes. So, how has marriage equality truly impacted the LGBTQ+ community? How has the legalization of same-sex marriage affected civil rights, social inclusion, and the recognition of diverse relationships? In this discussion, we'll dive deep into how this legal victory has changed the lives of millions, bringing not just legal rights but also a vast cultural shift towards acceptance. The story of marriage equality is the story of perseverance, social justice, and the relentless fight for dignity and respect. It is the tale of how one legal victory changed everything, paving the way for future rights and recognition, from being excluded from society to being accepted, from legal ambiguity to stability. Marriage equality has undoubtedly impacted the lives of LGBTQ+ individuals and the world at large. But how far have we come? And what lies ahead for the rights of the LGBTQ+ community? Join us as we explore the legacy of this monumental achievement with Shining Mirror-LVB. Legalizing same-sex marriage, a victory for civil rights. When the historic ruling on marriage equality was handed down, it wasn't just about the union of two people but about equal rights and societal acceptance. For a long time, the LGBTQ+ community was denied basic civil rights that others took for granted, rights that many people see as fundamental to human dignity. With the legalization of same-sex marriage, same-sex couples were granted the same legal protections and benefits as heterosexual couples. This monumental shift includes vital rights such as filing joint taxes, inheritance rights, access to health insurance, and the ability to make medical decisions for one's spouse. These changes have truly lifted the burden for LGBTQ+ individuals who had lived in fear of being denied these basic benefits. However, this victory is not just about legal procedures. It is a declaration from society that the LGBTQ+ community deserves the same rights and recognition as anyone else. This change in legal status reflects a growing understanding of love, family, and identity, core elements of a truly inclusive society. Legalizing same-sex marriage not only provides legal recognition but also fosters a social revolution about the diversity of relationships. It is no longer just a story of people wishing to live their lives as they choose, but a fight to reclaim dignity and respect from society. When same-sex couples can officially commit to each other within the legal framework, they gain not only protection through legal terms but also the celebration of love and loyalty, something all relationships deserve. While these advancements have made the world a better place for the LGBTQ+ community, we must not forget that the road is still full of challenges. Legal recognition is not the end of the journey. It is just the first step in changing how society views and treats same-sex relationships. As same-sex marriage becomes legal in many countries, we are witnessing a significant shift in public perception, from discrimination to empathy, from hatred to respect. However, a legal victory cannot entirely solve the issues the LGBTQ+ community faces. There are still inequalities in areas such as child custody, workplace protections, and ongoing stigma in many parts of society. But the legalization of same-sex marriage has opened the door to hope for future battles. We've seen the power of changing legal policies and their impact on social acceptance. This proves that if we persist and fight, society can move toward a more equitable and inclusive future. The story of marriage equality is not only the story of the LGBTQ+ community but also the story of all of us. It is a fight to protect the most fundamental human values, the right to love and live a life free from discrimination. And because of that, when same-sex marriage was legally recognized, we didn't just change the lives of millions, we created a world that we can all be proud of. Enhancing social inclusion and the struggle against stigma. One of the most profound changes can be seen in the reduction of stigma and discrimination faced by same-sex couples. The recognition of marriage equality has helped normalize LGBTQ+ relationships in the eyes of many, breaking down long-held prejudices and misunderstandings ingrained in society. The legal recognition of same-sex marriage not only brings legal benefits but also allows LGBTQ+ individuals to live without having to hide who they are. This provides them with legal acknowledgement of their relationships, while also granting them societal recognition and respect. Previously, many people in the LGBTQ+ community felt they had to live in the shadows, avoiding criticism and stigma, but now, being legally recognized has helped them step into the light, confidently express themselves without fear of rejection or discrimination. For many within the LGBTQ+ community, the right to marry is not just a legal victory, it is an affirmation of their existence and a promise of safety. When same-sex relationships are recognized, the government and society are signaling that they are no longer inferior. They are equal partners in a shared social contract. Same-sex marriage not only affirms the value of LGBTQ+ individuals, but also creates opportunities for them to actively participate in social activities just like anyone else. This means they no longer have to endure isolation, but can instead contribute to society's collective growth. However, the road ahead remains challenging. While marriage equality has opened many doors, stigma persists. The LGBTQ+ community still faces difficulties in areas like employment, housing, and healthcare, requiring continued legal battles and reforms. Many in the community still face discrimination in the workplace, being denied benefits or opportunities simply because of their gender identity or sexual orientation. This situation continues to occur, despite significant legal changes. In reality, it is not just about legal reforms but also about a profound shift in societal attitudes and actions. What is important is creating a safe environment where every individual can live authentically without facing discrimination. This is a significant task not just for lawmakers but for everyone in society. Only then can true social inclusion become a reality. The struggle against stigma and discrimination is far from over. However, the legalization of same-sex marriage has created a pivotal turning point, marking a significant step forward in protecting the rights of the LGBTQ+ community and promoting social inclusion. We must continue fighting not only on the legal front but also in the hearts and minds of everyone to create a truly equal and non-discriminatory society. The debate, marriage and queer identity. With the progress of marriage equality, a new debate has emerged within the LGBTQ+ community. For some, the emphasis on marriage challenges the diverse nature of queer relationships. The concern arises whether focusing on marriage could unintentionally undermine the value and recognition of non-traditional relationships, such as polyamory, open relationships, or other forms of relationships that do not fit the one man, one woman model. While marriage equality certainly brings the legal recognition and societal change that is necessary, it also forces us to reconsider what it means to be queer in a world where legal rights and societal value are often tied to marriage. For those who feel that their identity is not connected to traditional concepts of marriage, the legalization of same-sex marriage raises questions about the future of queer culture and identity. Some members of the queer community are concerned that as marriage becomes the primary focus of the movement, other forms of relationships, whether they are open, polyamorous, or non-legally bound, will be sidelined and lack recognition. They argue that society may continue to view marriage as the pinnacle of all relationships, while other forms remain undervalued, despite offering their own meaningful expressions of love and authenticity. However, this debate also represents a positive shift in how we begin to view relationships and identity. It's no longer just about asserting that marriage is the only form of recognized love and family, but about creating space to respect and accept the diversity in how people love and connect. This is an opportunity to see society through a lens of diversity, freedom, and choice. Most importantly, we should not let this debate divide the LGBTQ+ community. Instead, we should view it as an opportunity to affirm that all relationships, whether traditional or non-traditional, hold their own value and deserve recognition. Legalizing same-sex marriage should not replace other types of relationships, but instead represent a step forward in building a society that respects all forms of love and connection. Legal reforms and the road ahead, the legacy of marriage equality. The fight for marriage equality is just one step in the ongoing battle for the rights of the LGBTQ+ community. However, this victory has set an undeniable precedent for future legal reforms. It shows that with the right combination of social activism and legal action, change is possible. It also highlights the power of organized efforts and passion in transforming the cultural and political landscape. Marriage equality has paved the way for other legal reforms aimed at protecting the rights of the LGBTQ+ community in areas such as adoption, child custody, and protection against hate crimes. These are not just legal changes but significant milestones that mark the maturity of society in recognizing and protecting the rights of all people, regardless of gender identity or sexual orientation. Moreover, the legalization of same-sex marriage has driven broader social inclusion, encouraging a larger presence for LGBTQ+ families and individuals. These changes not only create a safer and more inclusive environment for the community but also broaden society's understanding of love and family. LGBTQ+ families are no longer just accepted as part of society, they are now legally recognized with full rights. Today, we continue to witness progress in legislation relating to LGBTQ+ issues, promoting greater protection and recognition in places where inequality still exists. However, these reforms are not the end. The road ahead remains long, with many challenges yet to be overcome. The LGBTQ+ community still faces issues like workplace discrimination, access to health care, and protection in cases of domestic violence. But what we've achieved from the victory of marriage equality cannot be denied. It is a tremendous legacy of the fight for the rights and recognition of the LGBTQ+ community. Every step forward in protecting and recognizing the rights of the LGBTQ+ community is not just a victory for them but a victory for humanity, for a more just, equal, and inclusive society for all. Cultural shift: how marriage equality has impacted the community. Beyond the legal and political impacts, marriage equality has sparked a significant cultural shift. It has redefined the concept of family in the 21st century, moving from heteronormative ideals to a more inclusive vision of love and commitment. As LGBTQ+ relationships have become more visible, their struggles, dreams, and successes are also being recognized. The presence of LGBTQ+ families, especially those with same-sex parents, has increased empathy and understanding. It has allowed the public to see LGBTQ+ families as real families. And this shift in perception may very well be the long-lasting legacy of the marriage equality movement. This transformation has helped remove many of the prejudices and social challenges that the LGBTQ+ community once faced. Before same-sex marriage was legalized, many individuals in the community had to hide their relationships, enduring isolation and a lack of recognition. Now, LGBTQ+ families can live openly without fear or concealment, marking a new chapter in the fight for equality and rights. Along with the growing awareness of LGBTQ+ families, the visibility of these relationships has also driven a change in how society views love. Relationships between individuals are no longer confined by traditional gender roles or fixed family structures. Instead, love and commitment are viewed through a broader lens, where every person has the right to choose and live authentically. This change in perception is not limited to same-sex families but also includes the recognition and respect of all family forms. Whether traditional or non-traditional, this is one of the most valuable and enduring legacies left by the marriage equality movement for future generations. Continuing the fight, the work is far from over. While marriage equality has marked a significant milestone in the fight for the rights of the LGBTQ+ community, the battle is far from over. Legal recognition is crucial, but it alone is not enough. The LGBTQ+ community still faces challenges that require continuous attention from activists, lawmakers, and organizations. As we look toward the future, it's essential to continue advancing progress in all areas of LGBTQ+ rights, from employment protection to health care, from housing discrimination to the fight against hate crimes. Every victory is hard-earned, but these victories lay the foundation for a fairer, more equal society for future generations. While significant victories have been achieved in legalizing same-sex marriage and securing legal rights for the LGBTQ+ community, stigma and discrimination still persist in many aspects of daily life. LGBTQ+ individuals still face discrimination in the workplace, housing, and even in personal relationships. This requires a relentless struggle, not only in the halls of lawmakers but also on the streets, in communities, and even within families. Each victory has been achieved with sweat and tears, but these victories have laid the groundwork for a more just and equal society for future generations. What is crucial is that we never stop fighting. By continuing our efforts, advocating, and creating change from the ground up, we can ensure that the rights and recognition of the LGBTQ+ community will not be reversed. The work is far from over, and we must continue moving forward on this path together, for a world that is inclusive, just, and equal for all, the road to true equality. Marriage equality is not just a legal change, but a profound shift in society. It affirms the principle that love is love, no matter who you are or who you choose to love. But as we continue to move forward, we must remember that true equality cannot be measured simply by legal status. It must be ingrained in the very fabric of society, in workplaces, schools, families, and communities, for those who have fought for marriage equality, for those who continue to defend the rights of the LGBTQ+ community, and for those who will come after. This journey is far from over. But the path is now clearer, and the future promises even greater strides. We must ask ourselves, where do we go next? How can we continue to make a difference in the lives of those who still face discrimination and inequality? The answer lies within each of us, in how we treat others, in how we continue to fight for a world where everyone is seen, heard, and loved. What do you think about the impact of marriage equality on the rights of the LGBTQ+ community? Have you experienced any of these changes in your life or in your community? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Let's keep the conversation going, and together, we'll continue to fight for equality and justice for everyone. If you enjoy meaningful stories and want to join the journey for a fair and equal society, don't forget to subscribe to Shining Mirror-LVB to get the latest videos. Thank you for joining us, and let's keep spreading the message of love and acceptance to everyone around us.